Dave, well, first, still no Max Muncy in the lineup. I know you had mentioned that we were hoping he was going to be back. How is he doing, and is there a plan as to when he could be activated?
He's doing well. A little bit better today. Still feels it. There's a little bit of tightness. I don't think we feel comfortable to run him out there day to day, I guess. I went through the whole workouts today. Still feels it when he goes full speed running. So I think the thought is I just don't see him being active tomorrow, and hold out some hope for Sunday. But again, it's more making sure we all feel really confident that he can play and sustain health.
If it takes a little bit longer, do you think a rehab assignment will be necessary for him?
I don't think so. I think that we've done a good job, even in Anaheim. 2 days he took some live at bat, so I don't see that as a possibility.
And then with Chris Taylor, how is he doing?
Chris is doing well. Still kind of a little balky still, more so on the infield, lateral versus straight ahead running. Swinging doesn't bother him. Outfield play necessarily is better for him. So I think today, tomorrow, we'll continue to use him the way we did in Anaheim, and then we'll kind of see what Sunday brings.
There seems to be always a lot of attention when you guys play the Astros. Do any of the feelings from 2017 or the residual of that still affect you or anybody that was here?
For me personally, no. There's only, I think even players and staff, there's probably only a handful of people that are still kind of holdovers. So I don't think it doesn't affect us.
Two on their team, 3 on your team. Any thoughts on what Manfred came out and said about he had regrets on how he handled that, kind of botching it?
Well, I think I can appreciate the fact that he admitted that he would have done things differently. I think that anyone that's in any type of leadership role, you're going to have to make decisions, and some of them you're going to wish you had back, and that's just part of life.
Do you think
Go ahead.
he missed an opportunity to send more of a message by not punishing players when that all came out?
You know what? I don't think it's beneficial for me to talk about that. I think that he said it pretty clearly that he might have done things differently as far as how he handled the players.
I wanted to ask you about if you read Bill's column today about how the fans should not forget what happened, and they should be on the Astros this evening.
I didn't read Bill's column. I hope he forgives me. I think that's fine. He's going to write pieces like that. So, if you're a Dodger fan, I absolutely understand that still the heart, how you feel about that. I absolutely understand that. So, as long as they're rooting for us and, being boisterous with those guys, I think it adds to the home field advantage.
Do you feel the subject is never going to get old?
This what's that?
The subject.
Yes, I do. Because, no matter what we say about it, it's not going to change 17. But I understand you got to answer the questions.
Dave, JD and Freddie are pretty close to individual milestones. JD getting closer to 300 and Freddie getting closer to 2,000. Do you feel like when guys get this close to it, they start chasing those hits? Or those home runs?
You know what? I don't know. I think that it's certainly something that they want to get to, but I actually don't know how far JD is from it. But if you start to sense that time is running out, then I think so. We still have plenty of time in the season, so I think that they're going to kind of stay the course. I think Freddie, knowing at some point he'll get his 2,000, so it's going to happen. So I don't think that affects him.
I think they're each 2 off. So 298 for JD.
If that's the case, then I think they probably would love to do it at home. I think if anything, but I don't think they'll be chasing the homer or the hit.
Sheehan on 6 days rest. Pitch count, is there a hard count for him that I know you can't disclose, but how closely will you watch him?
Yeah, I'm going to watch him, obviously, being a young pitcher, and certainly his last start, we were very mindful of, where he was at in the game, the pitch count. So there was a reason why we gave him an extra day, too. So we'll be mindful, but I think right around the 90 pitch mark is something where, given his workload building up to being a major league pitcher, is kind of where he's been at.
Is there anything you were able to learn of just how his fastball and how some of his stuff is able to play against the Giants that sort of can be informative game planning wise, or just sort of that you can build confidence on?
Yeah, I think that for sure, for any pitcher that can throw a fastball, be a two-pitch pitcher essentially, and get swings in the strike zone, has to add to the confidence. And from what I've heard, it wasn't even his best stuff outing of the year, arguably his worst. But speaks to what he did that night in his debut. The true tell, as only experience can help, is when you start to get into stress and how you navigate, how you manage it. So clearly, his first start there wasn't much stress, but I'm really excited for him to take the baseball tonight.
Dave, Danny Hudson's been throwing in AAA. What have you kind of heard? Understand what's kind of his timeline?
Huddy's doing great, throwing the baseball well. As I understand it, he is supposed to head to Arizona and throw on Tuesday, an inning on Tuesday, and then once he does that, then if all goes well, then an activation this next weekend is a viable possibility.
He was able to throw back-to-back in OKC. How encouraging is that as far as how his knees able to bounce back at this point?
It's great. It's great because it's something that, as we tried months ago, it just wasn't happening. He wasn't responding well. So to see now that his body's responding to the back-to-back, the up-down, really encouraging.
Plan is still Sunday for Julio and Rancho.
Julio 4-60 in Rancho. He just threw a kind of an easy side session, and the ball was coming really well.
You mentioned just following Emmett today. Potentially, we could see Michael Grove in a piggyback situation. Do you see that, or just coming off the off day, you also feel like the bullpen's in a good spot with bullpen day and off day?
I think we're in a great spot. I think a person we'll try to stay away from is Evan, but Michael hasn't pitched in a week, so to get him in there is something that is going to be a priority at some point. Yeah.
Is he just kind of going to be the length guy in the bullpen right now?
Tonight, yes, and we'll see how it goes. But just having the ability to go longer, to start, to potentially come in and gather up innings out of the pen, I don't think there's much of a downside to that.
Workload thing with that one?
Yeah, workload. Just day before at 6. We got a lot of baseball play. Given where our other guys are at, I think it could be beneficial to Evan, but I'm sure he is going to tell me he's available.
With the 2 days off this week, obviously the 2 great wins down in Anaheim, is there a sense that this team got a reset? You feel that?
I do. It's yeah. I mean, it was wins were hard to come by there for a minute, but to come back to back wins, and how we did it, I thought was really good. Offensively, we weren't that great, so I expect some good things offensively this weekend. But on the pitching side, I do think that the way we threw, prevented runs. You got Emmett going tonight. You got Bobby going tomorrow. Then you got Tony going. It's sort of lining up for us to get on a little run here.
Dave, is the longer absence for Max the longer runway for Michael Bush? So what do you see from him on both sides of the ball?
Well, it is, and also given where CT's at. So I applaud Michael. This is the first year he's really played a lot of third base, and outside of that little pop-up mishap the other day, he's been great. And so to take on a new position and play it like he has and work hard, it's great. So it's a good opportunity for him. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but he'll be in there the next couple days, and we'll see about Sunday.
Just quickly with Noah, he's been around the team quite a bit here recently. How are you seeing him progress, and are there any kind of next steps as to what he's working on?
Yeah, he is progressing from what I gather. I don't know, honestly, what the next steps are or when he's going to. I think for me, my radar is going to start, getting higher when he starts facing some hitters. So I haven't seen him on the mound, let alone facing hitters. So I still think we're a ways away.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dave.